Welcome to our deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring, this fascinating collection of ancient Indian wisdom, Chanakya Neeti.
Okay.
It's kind of like, a guide to life
Yeah.
covering like everything from personal growth and relationships to politics and leadership.
Uh-huh.
I mean, think of it as a crash course in like how to navigate the human experience,
Yeah.
ancient wisdom style.
I like that.
We've got a bunch of these insightful sayings, or aphorisms as they're called, ready to unpack.
Right, I'm ready.
You ready to get wise?
Absolutely. What makes Chanakya Neeti so intriguing is that even though it was written centuries ago, its insights into human nature and strategy are incredibly relevant today.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much we can learn from the past.
Okay, let's just jump right in. One of the aphorisms that really caught my eye was, there is no disease more deadly than desire, no enemy more dangerous than infatuation, no fire hotter than the fire of wrath, and no happiness is better than self-knowledge. Whoa.
Right. It's like Chanakya went straight for the jugular with this one.
Yeah.
It's so intense, but also like so true, don't you think?
It really is. This aphorism speaks to the importance of self-awareness and mastering our emotions. It's a reminder that unchecked desires and anger can lead to all sorts of trouble. And at the end of the day, true happiness comes from understanding ourselves. It's almost like he's saying that self-knowledge is the key to inner peace and navigating the ups and downs of life.
So true. It's like he's saying, hey, you want to be happy, get to know yourself, manage your desires, and tame that inner fire. Makes you think about what you're chasing in life, right?
Absolutely. And another aphorism that really struck me was, like a calf finds its mother cow, even among thousands, the consequences of an action will unerringly find its doer.
Oh, wow.
This one gets to the heart of karma, the idea that our actions have consequences.
That's a really good point. This aphorism always makes me stop and think before I act, kind of like a little gut check. Have you ever experienced that? Like knowing that what you do will come back to you in some way. Definitely. It's a reminder that we can't escape the results of our choices, whether good or bad.
Right.
Chanakya emphasizes personal responsibility and encourages us to make thoughtful decisions, knowing that they'll shape our future.
Okay, now we've got to talk about Dharma. It's one of those words that pops up a lot in Eastern philosophy, and it's a big deal in Chanakya Neeti. But honestly, it can be a bit tricky to wrap your head around. What's your take on it?
You're right, Dharma is a complex concept, but in essence, it's the principle of cosmic order, righteousness, and living in alignment with your true nature and purpose.
Okay.
It's about doing the right thing, fulfilling your duties, and contributing to the world in a positive way. It's kind of like your moral compass and your life blueprint all rolled into one.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about following rules. It's about living with purpose and integrity. It's like finding your place in the universe and living authentically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Chanakya believed that Dharma is the foundation for a stable and fulfilling life. He even says, all riches, vitality, life, and body are fickle and fey. Only Dharma is constant and everlasting.
Wow, that's deep. So while money, health, even our bodies come and go, Dharma is what remains. It's like he's saying that living in accordance with your Dharma gives you a sense of purpose that transcends the material world.
Precisely. And it leads to a legacy that lasts even after you're gone. It's about the impact you make, the values you uphold, and the contributions you make to the world.
Now, Chanakya didn't shy away from sharing his thoughts on society, and some of his observations are pretty eye-opening, especially considering they were written so long ago.
Yeah.
For example, he says, those parents who don't take interest in their son's education or who don't provide him with good education are verily his enemies. And a literate man among the literate ones looks as ugly as a crow among the swans.
Wow.
It makes you wonder what he would think about our modern education system, doesn't it?
It really does. This aphorism highlights Chanakya's belief in the transformative power of education. He saw knowledge and skills as essential for social mobility and success.
Yeah.
He's making a strong statement here, comparing an uneducated person to a crow among swans, really emphasizing how important education is. It makes you appreciate the opportunities we have today to learn and grow.
For sure. It's like he's saying that education is the key to unlocking potential and making a positive contribution to society.
And he doesn't stop there. He also has some intriguing perspectives on family. He says, one well-blossomed and sweet-smelling flower is enough to turn the whole garden fragrant. Similarly, one worthy son is enough to bring glory to the whole family. This one definitely sparks some debate.
Right. It makes you think about the different ways we define success, both individually and as a family.
Yeah.
He seems to be emphasizing quality over quantity, suggesting that one successful child can bring more honor to a family than many who might not be as accomplished. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a fascinating perspective. While it might seem controversial to modern ears, it reflects the values of his time and place.
Yeah.
And in a way, it challenges us to think about what truly matters in family life. Is it about having lots of children? Or is it about raising children who are kind, ethical, and contribute positively to the world?
That's such a great question. It really gets to the heart of what we value and how we define success.
And Chanakya doesn't stop there. He also delves into social classes, stating, the Brahmin who sells lac, oil, indigo, honey, ghee, wine, meat, and its products is called a Shudra Brahmin, low-caste Brahmin. This gives us a glimpse into the complexities of social hierarchies in ancient India and how occupations were associated with specific castes.
It's like a window into the past, showing us how society functioned and how people navigated those social structures. Though these classifications might not directly translate to our modern society, it does make you think about how certain professions are still viewed today, right?
Absolutely. While we strive for equality and social mobility, there are still societal perceptions of biases associated with certain professions.
Yeah.
It's something to be mindful of as we navigate our own careers and interactions with others.
Chanakya seems to have a keen eye for social dynamics, observing not just the ideal, but also the flaws within those roles. He states, the Brahmin who steals the things belonging to the gurus and gods, copulates with another's wife, and is able to dwell amongst the beings of any. It feels like he's highlighting the importance of ethical conduct, especially for those in positions of authority or respect.
You're right. Even though he's talking about Brahmins in this context, it's a reminder that no matter your position in society, acting with integrity and ethical principles is crucial.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying that true leadership comes from within, not just from your title or social standing.
That's a powerful message. It makes you realize that true leadership isn't just about power or position, but about character and how you treat others.
Exactly. And this emphasis on ethics and morality is something that resonates throughout Chanakya Neeti, reminding us that our actions have consequences, and our character defines who we truly are.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and dive back into his thoughts on knowledge and education. Chanakya really drives home their importance.
Yeah.
He says, despite having a well-endowed physique, beauty, charms, and belonging to a high and big family, if a man is uneducated or ignorant, he looks as useless and unimpressive as the kinshuk, palash flowers, having only color but no fragrance.
It's quite a visual, isn't it?
It really is. He's painting a vivid picture to illustrate his point, that outward appearances and social status mean nothing without education. It's knowledge and wisdom that give a person true substance and value.
It's like he's saying that true beauty comes from the inside, what you know and how you use that knowledge to navigate the world. It's a message that still holds true today, don't you think?
Absolutely. In a world obsessed with appearances, it's a powerful reminder to focus on developing our minds and enriching our understanding of the world.
And speaking of enriching our understanding, Chanakya describes the value of knowledge in such a beautiful way. He says, knowledge, or education, is like the cow of plenty, giving good things even in the most adverse period. It protects like a mother and renders help as though it is a veritable secret treasure.
Okay, I love that analogy.
Right.
A cow of plenty, that's brilliant. It perfectly captures how knowledge can nourish us, protect us, and provide for us, even when times are tough. I mean, who wouldn't want a cow that just keeps giving you the good stuff?
Right. It's like having a superpower. Knowledge empowers us to solve problems, overcome challenges, and create a better future for ourselves and others.
It's almost like he's giving us permission to be lifelong learners, always seeking out new knowledge and applying it to our lives. I don't know about you, but this aphorism makes me want to hit the books.
Me too. It's a reminder that learning is a lifelong journey, and the more we learn, the more equipped we are to navigate the complexities of life.
Now let's talk about relationships. Chanakya has some pretty insightful advice on choosing our friends and companions wisely. He warns, shun a friend speaking fair on the face but acting foul in the absence, like the pitcher filled with venom but having milk at the opening. That's such a powerful image, isn't it?
It really is. He's warning us about the dangers of false friends, those who appear friendly on the surface but harbor ill intentions. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And he's encouraging us to be discerning about the company we keep, surrounding ourselves with people who genuinely support our well-being.
It's like he's saying, hey, pay attention to how people act, not just what they say. Your friends should have your back, not be secretly plotting against you. Have you ever had an experience with a friend like that?
I think most of us have encountered those types of people at some point in our lives. It's a reminder to trust our instincts and be mindful of who we allow into our inner circle.
And speaking of the right kind of company, Chanakya beautifully describes the true value of good company, saying, this world, in the form of a tree, has two nectareous fruits, sweet speech and good company. That's such a poetic way of putting it, don't you think?
It is. He's highlighting the importance of positive relationships and the power of kind words. Surrounding ourselves with people who uplift us, offer wise counsel, and speak kindly is essential for our happiness and growth. It's like he's saying that good company is a source of nourishment for our souls.
You know what? I love how Chanakya uses metaphors and imagery to make these complex ideas so relatable. He could have just said, hang out with good people, but he turned it into this beautiful image of a tree bearing sweet fruits. It makes it stick with you, doesn't it?
It does, and it makes the wisdom more memorable and impactful. It's not just about what he's saying, but how he's saying it.
Totally agree. Okay, are you ready to dive into some of Chanakya's strategic insights? This guy was known for his political savvy and leadership skills, and he's got some fascinating advice that, believe it or not, can be applied to so many areas of modern life, not just politics.
Let's do it. I'm eager to see what gems of wisdom he has for us in this area.
All right, buckle up. This is where things get really interesting.
So Chanakya was like a master strategist.
Yeah.
And one of his most intriguing insights, I think, is how to deal with adversaries. He advises, deal with the powerful enemy by trying to win its favor, with the wicked enemy by going away, and with the enemy of matching power by being submissive or aggressive as the situation may demand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's giving us a playbook for, navigating conflict, recognizing that there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
That's so true. It's like he's saying, know your enemy, know yourself, and choose your battles wisely. I mean, sometimes it makes sense to try to win someone over, but other times, like, walking away is the smartest move. And then there are those situations where you need to stand your ground, right? What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a brilliant strategy. Chanakya understood that power dynamics are fluid, and different situations require different tactics. Sometimes diplomacy and strategic alliances are the best course of action, while other times avoiding confrontation is key. And then there are those situations where you need to be assertive and stand up for what you believe in. It all depends on the circumstances and the nature of the conflict.
So it's about being adaptable and knowing when to use each approach, kind of like a martial artist who knows different techniques for different opponents.
Yeah.
Chanakya was a pretty savvy guy.
He was.
He also had some interesting thoughts on leadership style and accessibility.
Okay.
He says, a king rarely seen often destroys his subjects. A king easily accessible to his subjects keeps them happy. Makes you wonder what he would think about today's leaders, right?
It really, being aloof and inaccessible can create distrust and dissatisfaction, while being approachable and responsive fosters loyalty and well-being. It's about striking a balance between authority and approachability.
It's funny because we often think of powerful leaders as being like distant and untouchable.
Yeah.
But Chanakya seems to suggest that being accessible and in touch with the people you lead is actually a sign of strength. What do you make of that?
It's a refreshing perspective. It suggests that true leadership is about serving others, not just wielding power.
Right.
It's about understanding the needs of those you lead and being responsive to them.
Yeah.
It's about building trust and creating a sense of shared purpose.
I like that. It's like he's saying that the best leaders are those who empower others and create a culture of collaboration and respect. Okay, now I want to circle back to a few other aphorisms that really resonated with me. One was, even if the snake be non-poisonous, it must spread its hood to the full. What's your take on this one?
Yes. This one is all about appearances and perception. Chanakya is suggesting that sometimes it's necessary to project an image of strength or power, even if you don't necessarily, feel that way. It's about strategically using appearances to your advantage.
Okay.
It's not about being deceptive,
Yeah.
but rather about understanding how perception influences outcomes.
This aphorism reminds me of the saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Yes.
Sometimes, projecting confidence and competence can open doors and create opportunities.
Yeah.
It's like you're sending a message to the world, I'm capable, I'm ready, and I'm here to make a difference.
Exactly. It's about understanding the power of nonverbal communication and using it strategically to achieve your goals. It's not about being fake. It's about presenting your best self and putting your best foot forward.
And speaking of presenting our best selves, another aphorism that really struck me was, despite having a well-endowed physique, beauty, charms, and belonging to a high and big family, if a man is uneducated or ignorant, he looks as useless and unimpressive as the Kinchuk palash flowers, having only color but no fragrance. It's like a reminder that true beauty comes from within, from our character and our intellect, not just from external appearances.
Absolutely. He's emphasizing the importance of substance over superficiality.
Yeah.
True value comes from what we know, how we think, and how we act, not just from our physical attributes or social status. It's a timeless message that's especially relevant in today's image-obsessed world.
So true. It's like he's saying that true beauty is about being a well-rounded individual, someone who cultivates their mind and their heart. It's about having something to offer the world beyond just like a pretty face.
Exactly. And this ties back to his emphasis on education and knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
He saw learning as a way to enhance our inner beauty and make us more valuable members of society.
Okay, I've got to bring up another one of those knowledge-related aphorisms because I just love how he describes it. He says, knowledge or education is like the cow of plenty, giving good things even in the most adverse period. It protects like a mother and renders help as though it is a veritable secret treasure. I mean, that's some powerful imagery right there. It makes you want to go out and learn everything you can, doesn't it?
It really does. The cow of plenty is such a brilliant metaphor, capturing how knowledge can sustain us, protect us, and empower us even when life throws us curveballs. It's like having a secret weapon that can help us overcome any obstacle.
It's like he's saying that knowledge is the ultimate investment, one that pays dividends throughout our lives. And speaking of investments, we've got to revisit his advice about choosing our friends wisely. He warns us to shun a friend speaking fair on the face but acting foul in the absence, like the pitcher filled with venom but having milk at the opening.
Yeah.
That's some serious shade right there.
It is.
But it's also like a really important lesson, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's a classic cautionary tale about the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who are genuine and trustworthy. It's a reminder that true friends have our backs, even when we're not around.
It's like he's saying, choose your friends carefully because they can either lift you up or drag you down.
Right.
And on the flip side, he also reminds us of the incredible value of true friendship with that beautiful aphorism about the two nectarious fruits of this world, sweet speech and good company. It's like he's saying that positive relationships and kind words are essential for a happy and fulfilling life.
Absolutely. Chanakya understood the power of human connection and its impact on our well-being.
Yeah.
Surrounding ourselves with people who support us, encourage us, and inspire us is a recipe for a richer and more meaningful life.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from self-control and Dharma to education, relationships, leadership, and even dealing with adversaries. Chanakya seems to have had something to say about just about everything.
He did.
It's pretty mind-blowing how relevant his insights still are today, centuries after they were written.
It really is. It speaks to the timeless nature of human experience and the enduring wisdom found in ancient texts like Chanakya Neeti. It's a reminder that we can learn from the past and apply those lessons to our lives today.
And speaking of timeless lessons, here's one final aphorism from Chanakya that I think perfectly encapsulates what we've been talking about today.
Okay.
Even if the snake be non-poisonous, it must spread its hood to the full. What do you think he's trying to convey with this one?
It's a powerful image, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think he's reminding us that appearances matter, and sometimes projecting an image of strength or confidence is necessary to navigate the world effectively.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the power of perception and using it strategically to achieve our goals.
It's like he's saying, don't be afraid to, stand tall and assert yourself, even if you're feeling a little unsure on the inside. It's about having the courage to show up in the world as our best selves.
Exactly. It's about owning our power and not being afraid to let our light shine. And sometimes that means putting on a brave face and projecting an image of confidence, even if we're feeling a bit vulnerable.
It's funny because we often think of vulnerability as a weakness, but maybe it's actually a strength. Maybe it's what makes us human and allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Vulnerability can be a powerful tool for connection and authenticity. When we allow ourselves to be seen, flaws and all, it creates space for genuine human connection. In a way, that's what Chanakya is encouraging us to do throughout this text, to be authentic, to be strategic, and to be true to ourselves.
I love that. To be authentic, to be strategic, and to be true to ourselves. Those are some pretty wise words to live by, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And as we wrap up our deep dive into Chanakya Neeti, I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question to ponder.
Ooh, I like where this is going. Hit us with that question. All right, lay it on us. What's that question we should be pondering?
Considering all we've discussed, what piece of advice from Chanakya Neeti do you find most applicable to your life today and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. There's so much wisdom packed into this text, it's hard to choose just one.
Right.
But I think that's the beauty of it, right? There's something in here for everyone, no matter what stage of life you're in or what challenges you're facing.
Exactly. And the best part is that you can revisit these aphorisms again and again and find new meaning and relevance as you grow and evolve.
You know, it's funny because we often think of ancient wisdom as being outdated or irrelevant to our modern lives, but Chanakya Neeti proves that wrong.
Yeah.
It's like he had this uncanny ability to tap into the core of human experience, the things that we all struggle with, regardless of time or place.
I think you're right. He was a keen observer of human nature and understood the fundamental principles that drive our behavior, whether we're talking about personal relationships, professional ambitions, or navigating the complexities of society.
It's like he's giving us a timeless toolkit for success and happiness, one that's been passed down through generations. And the best part is that it's still relevant today. I mean, who wouldn't want some ancient wisdom to help them crush it in life?
Right.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired after this deep dive into Chanakya Neeti.
Me too.
It's like we've uncovered a treasure trove of wisdom that we can now apply to our own lives.
It is a treasure trove, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that wisdom can be found in the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to look to the past to find the guidance we need for the present.
So true. Well, as we wrap things up here, I encourage you to think about that question we posed earlier. What piece of advice from Chanakya Neeti resonates most with you right now? How can you apply his wisdom to your own life, your relationships, your work, and even your dreams?
I think that's a great place to leave our listeners. It's an invitation to reflect, to connect with the wisdom of Chanakya, and to find ways to integrate his timeless insights into their own unique journeys.
Absolutely. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.